Hey everyone, hope you're all safe and well. So today I'm going to actually go to the Reading Brick Show. Now it's just west of London and hopefully it should only take me about 90 minutes or so to get to. Now the Brick Festival, of course, the London Brick Festival, was my first real Lego show that I'd been to. And I've done that twice now, so this show will be something kind of new and exciting for me. I'm looking forward to seeing more MOCs and hopefully more trains as well, because I really feel that Lego fans have been starved of new trains over the last few years. But let me know how you feel about that down in the comments below. There's also going to be a gallery of mosaics, and fingers crossed I'll get to see the great ball contraption as well, and I'm pretty certain that I'll be bumping into one or two peeps as well from around the Lego community. Now I've got no idea what I'm going to buy, but I'm pretty sure I'll figure that out soon as I get there. Now that's both kind of scary yet random at the same time, so I'll kind of go with the flow and things like that. Anyways, it starts at 10 AM today, and I'm going to be going around the dreaded M25 to see what the Reading Brick Show is all about.
So I'm here with Richard and Levi as well, and these guys work with LNUR, Lego Northern UK Railway. Now I've always felt, and I say this at the top of this vlog, that trains aren't giving us enough love from Lego, and I think kind of you'd probably agree with that, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's quite a small niche within the Lego hobby, particularly for adults. Kids want something that goes around in a circle and is easy. Doesn't necessarily have to represent anything real, and we try and push what we can do with Lego into making a kind of more of a traditional model railway scene, hopefully.
Yeah, and and it looks absolutely fabulous. I mean, it really does. But now, the last time I looked at a Lego website, I think there was maybe 2-3 trains tops that you could purchase. Now, none of those trains actually feature here. So tell us about these trains. I mean, these every single one of these. Is every single one of them a MOC?
We're a Lego train club with about 40. I think we're up to about 45 members, something like that.
That's good. That's good. And you're a hardened member of that as well, Levi. Yeah.
I've got stuck here for life.
No escape. So the club. This club is a collaborative one, so we've had members who have built different sections for layout to bring together for shows, and then one of the perks of membership is if you have a train, you can come and run it at shows. So
wow,
these are all custom built by various members.
Okay, so all these chaps over here, then they've all brought their own various engines. Yeah. Is that what you call them? Do you call them engines?
Engines, locos, a whole train to like the intercity going around now.
That's a 125, isn't it?
It is. Yes.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
A bit too fast.
Yeah, I think you guys. Do you guys like to crash your trains or something?
Not intentionally.
I do, but I don't have any. I don't have any here.
It's very common.
Wow.
But yeah, so tell me about this scene over here then. The street scene. Is that just to make up a little bit of background? And
so we knew we were going to have quite a small layout, and we wanted a kind of small village station. Mm-hmm. So we had the idea of, usually with a looper track, we've got the backboard here, which sort of represents the sky.
Yeah.
But as you can see down the back, it's quite messy.
Yeah,
so we wanted a kind of...
That's where all the action's at.
So we wanted a scenic break that looked a bit like a small village.
Yeah.
The church was a bit of a last minute thing, but actually I think works.
Oh, no. Better derail.
I'll just leave that there.
Great timing, guys. Thanks.
So the idea was a small village station with a church. and so I built the terraced houses and the pub. We've got to have a pub.
Got to have a pub, yeah.
We're still waiting for the sign for the pub name. We've got a couple of names.
What is the name? Any names in the running?
I think it was something like, one of them, the adult version, is Piston Broke.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought that was quite good. And then we've got more family-friendly signs to put on as well.
Like the Railway Inn, that sort of thing.
That sort of thing. So we like putting stupid little jokes. Have we got a name for this layout yet?
No, not a proper name.
I don't think
we haven't come to any agreements
yet.
Picked
a name for it yet.
We haven't even had a discussion yet.
Okay.
So it's still in play. But that was the aim, to get a small village, typical kind of English, British scene that we could run just as a backdrop for the trains, really.
Looks very cool. So what sort of trains are you kind of into? I mean, there's a couple of different types of ones here. We got kind of steam trains. We've got diesel, got electric, I think, going on over there as well.
Depends on the members. So a lot of them, a bit like a traditional model railway, a lot of them are into the heritage stuff, the steam railways, that sort of stuff. I'm personally more a fan of the modern stuff.
Yeah.
So anything that runs now, because I think particularly kids at shows kind of relate to them more, because they might have got the train to the show and been on a modern. They might have been on one of the GWR Intercity Expresses in the back, the dark green one.
Yeah.
Which actually we borrowed from someone who isn't a member down at the other end. But
we've got Stevenson's Rocket over there as well.
Yeah, we've got. I think that's Josh's. We've got a good mix at the show today. It just depends who turns up to run on the day.
Yeah, no, it looks great. It's really good work. Anyway, lovely to meet you, Richard, and thanks for showing us your trade.
No problem.
So I'm here with Simon Scott, who's actually submitted a Lego Ideas idea. So anyway, so Simon, lovely to meet you. Tell us a little bit about this then, because Raiders of the Lost Ark, 40th anniversary, you're ahead of the curve. Tell us a little bit about this.
So, Indiana Jones is one of my favourite films, and it didn't actually start out as a Lego Ideas project. I missed out on the Indiana Jones sets during my Lego Dark Ages, as it was, and I wanted some sets that I could call my own. And so I just built these just for the love of the film, really.
Yeah.
And then from a previous Lego Ideas submission, people suggested I should put Indiana Jones on there, and it sort of coincided with the 40th anniversary last year.
Okay, so what would you call these? Would you call them vignettes or dioramas?
Yeah, either or. I'd mainly refer to them as vignettes. I guess that's sort of a trip cut, I think they call it, as a series of 3. But then my individual ones, I'd definitely call them vignettes going there.
Okay, so one of my favourite scenes in movie history is probably this bad boy here.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this one then, and how you made it.
Obviously an iconic scene with Indy sort of being chased by the rolling ball as he's triggered another trap. I started off building the ball, which is your standard sort of sphere made up, but I've used a inside of a die with the rubber cut off.
Gotcha.
To get the spherical piece. There's various other techniques you can use to get the same effect, and that sort of gave me the scale to minifigure, and then built the diorama around that really, and just sort of layered up with rocks and plants. And,
well, I love the
snapshot.
I love the fact that you've put them on stands as well. I mean, do they stack together in any sort of way, or do they back onto each other?
I originally built them to display at home individually because I don't have a lot of shelf space.
Yeah.
And I thought having them on these plinths, you can move them around and so on from there. But it does just present them nicely.
Yeah.
And they're on the from the picture frames.
Oh yeah, so if I turn that over there, you'll see exactly them there. Yeah, these are great for those sort of things, aren't they?
Absolutely. So I just smooth them off, tile them up around the edges, and it just makes a really nice nice display base to show them off on there.
Okay, so like I said at the top then, so you've put it forward as a Lego Ideas. How much support have you got so far?
So far with Indie, I'm up to just over 8,400 supporters.
Fantastic.
I have till March next year to get the remaining 1,600. So hopefully at some point in the next 12 months we'll get that over the gate as it was and hit 10k.
Well, I've got absolutely no doubt, Simon, that you'll achieve that pretty damn soon. Good work, great stuff, mate. So I'm here with Sean. Now, there's something I've always found interesting about brick-built creatures, and that is, I've got to be honest, Sean, I don't normally like them, and I've always wanted a Rancor, which of course is a model creature from Lego, but these aren't, and I think these look better, and these of course are brick-built. So do you mind telling me a little bit about these?
Yeah, of course. Do you know what? It started off me wanting to get a brick built, the molded one as well. But then, they're really expensive. You can't really get them easily as well. So I thought, you know what, I can build this.
I like it. So why have you got the three different colours? Because that to me is like a sort of standard Rancor colour.
Yeah.
And then you've got this slightly more beige one, and then you've got this kind of grey one with the larger tusks.
Yeah.
So what's that? What's the idea behind that?
So this was from the Return of the Jedi. Mm-hmm. And then we've got the grey one, which is from the video game. It's a full Rancor.
Yeah.
And the dark tan one is from Book of Boba Fett series.
I see.
Yeah, they're from different series, but you know what? If I'm being honest with you, I just want to collect different color schemes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to see a pink one. I just throw it out, or maybe a black and white one, like a sort of Frisian cow. Yeah, that'd be good. But yeah, I'm loving the Book of Boba Fett MOC you've done here as well. That does actually look really, really good. So why do you build these brick-built creatures as opposed to kind of buying the kind of moulded versions of them?
Mostly because they're so limited. Like they don't really mold every single creature. Mm-hmm. So if you can build it, then you can have more freedom to build anything you want.
Oh, and then this is pretty cool as well. The old Wampa.
Yeah, it's one of the most difficult ones I've ever made.
Yeah, it's really cool. And tell me a bit about these ships, of course. So we've got the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon. Yeah. We've got the Razor Crest. Yeah. And so is this kind of like your version of them?
Yeah, especially the Razor Crest, because I'm short of space to display these models. So for me, I build it slightly smaller so I can display it.
Yeah. I really like it. Thank you so much, Sean. Honestly, this is great work. It really is.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Sam Norman, and I'm checking out some of his MOCs. He's kind of up for Best in Show, and he's got 2 MOCs here today at the Reading Brick Show. And anyway, he's going to show us a little bit about it. So nice to meet you, sir. Tell us a little bit about this MOC you got here, then.
So this, I was always enjoyed the pirate scene when I was a kid, and but I couldn't afford the large Eldorado set. So this is kind of my interpretation on a imperial Spanish fort in the Caribbean in the 1600s, 1700s pirate era. So what we've got is our pirate soldiers up here, our governor here, and look out at the top here. He rings the bell if he sees any pirates, and then these all come apart to have interior.
Oh, so you kind of modularised it then?
Yeah, so that's the Gobernor's office or his den, and he's got a letter from the king, map and some items, some trophies that he's stolen from the local native people.
It looks amazing. Now, a couple of things that really do stick out for me. One, I love the way in which you've done the roof on that. That looks amazing. That really does look like it's made of logs and things like that. You've got this amazing tree here as well. But the thing that really sort of captures it for me is that not only have you got this lovely texture for the sea, but you've got this kind of I don't know, it's almost like an Artex kind of effect for the walls itself. So I mean, did it take you long to build this? I mean, it's quite
So I actually designed this on Lego Studio, the software program, but then built it at the end. So it took months to design, but then the building was probably a couple of weekends. But like this wall effect here, I actually used a random number generator. So I got a series of bricks, laid them out 1 to 10.
Yeah.
And then based on what the random number generator said is what the next brick would be. So
Oh, I like it.
It's absolutely random and
Yeah.
doesn't repeat itself at all. So
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. It really is.
there's more interior under here.
All right. Yeah. Show us a little bit more in there then.
That's the jail where the captured pirates end up.
Yeah. They probably deserve to be in there, though. They probably don't relish the fact that you've got some old rat in there with a skeleton.
He's been there a while. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I love all this. So you got kind of a bit of everything in there. You got all this texture going on. You got all these different styles of building.
Tried to make it everything it could be in a small space. I find some of the really big MOCs just too expensive to build and as impressive as they are. So I thought I'd focus on making it only this size, but having as much detail in there as I could.
It looks great. It really does. It really does. And have you got is there an aspect to this that's your favourite? Was it the random number generation? Was it kind of building up the rock face, the trees, or even the sort of grassy shrubbery area? What was your favourite part of this?
Well, I actually really don't like doing rock work, but I'm really happy with the way the rock work comes down to the sand and the waves.
Oh, it's a great effect. And I tell you what you get out of this as well. You get this kind of like really nice shimmering effect of the light bouncing off it with the different angles thing. So anyway, that looks great. I love this. This is called Castillo Del Caribe or Carib.
Castillo Del Caribe.
Oh, bloody!
Spanish for castle in the Caribbean.
Well, your Spanish is definitely a lot better than mine.
Well, I'm not a Spanish speaker, so I'm waiting for someone to correct me on that. That's where I'm at for now.
But it sounded better than me anyway. Okay, so. Yeah, I think that's what they called it. So I'm here with Simon Pickard, who, well, not only does he actually do a little bit of writing for Blocks magazine, which is always nice, and some of you that actually watch my reviews of Blocks magazine will maybe recognise when we reviewed actually this particular edition here. What one was it? Oh, there we go. It was the Lego Batman edition here. And I always remember this feature, Simon, because I was talking about the fact that they're Joker hair pieces. But anyway, looking at the bigger picture, you're obviously into your medieval stuff, and we've got some seriously medieval village going on here as well. So tell us a little bit about this and, a couple of the key points that you like about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, history's always appealed to me, partly because I wanted to do lots of different stuff, and history is very varied. But the medieval market town came about as a collaborative thing for a castle and town collaboration. But I build my stuff as standalone, so I can bring it later. But obviously all the buildings and the marketplace and everything is made to be as accurate to the period as they can be.
Okay, so what sort of year are we looking at here?
Well, you can always tell, if you see the black and white buildings like this, it's Tudor.
Okay.
So that's always a good giveaway for you. But,
so where did you start with all this? I mean, did you start with this great big one here, or did you just kind of start in the middle and kind of work outwards?
You need some idea of your base, but as it happens, the big building was already built from an older project that the roof was different, so I adapted that downwards. So I did already have that building in place. But, I needed an idea of the square footage, but because of the collaboration it was part of, I knew where I was fitting in. I normally start 3 bricks high, but this is only 1 brick high for that reason.
Okay, I see. And I like the way you kind of, I mean, I call it greebling, but really it's a lot more to it than that. You've got this lovely sort of garden here, but I love the way you kind of used a combination of kind of 1x1 plates and round tiles as well.
The texturing is a really important part, especially with history builds, to give that sense of age to it.
And the roof works fantastically well.
They're all misapplied tiles. They're a lot more secure than you'd imagine, so they just don't fall off. Of course, people like running their fingers down it and flattening them for me, so thanks for that.
You're most welcome. We've got chimneys and all sorts of things as well. So it's kind of interesting. So what are the tents all about? The smaller tents? Is that all part and parcel of that?
Tournament tents. So there was actually a joust further down. I might add some more, so I've got more of a tournament.
Oh yeah, so we've got some archeries over here then.
So they're medieval tents. In fact, in Blocks I'm going to be doing tents and wells in future guides.
Nice.
So I'm always trying to make sure I add in a few details that save me time on the guides.
Brilliant. And I love the way you've done the chimneys as well that pop out. And look at Look at the detail in that as well. It's fantastic. It really
I
is.
must admit, I was rather pleased to use up a Hagrid. I'm always stuck with Hagrid because Harry Potter's good parts in Harry Potter sets, figures, but I never normally use Hagrid.
100% as well. And I love the fact you've got a couple of little gestures in there too.
Yeah, they're juggling. I've got another one here juggling 3 on his own.
Wicked. Oh yeah. Oh, I like him. He's a nice one.
You can't see him from this side. We've got the new minstrel fleshed out, playing for them as well.
Yeah.
So it's a market town, so it's kind of a celebration day. So you've got a little melee area with them fighting and some archery and things like that. It's the
Phenomenal.
tents to give that flavour.
Yeah, no, it looks great. That's really good work, and it looks absolutely awesome. Thanks very much, Simon. So, Carrie, what are you looking for here?
White pieces.
White pieces? Well, loads of white pieces here.
Been sold my brief is white pieces.
White pieces. What is that? Ian, are you going to do like a Hoff mock or something like that?
You've not seen the winter now.
Oh, of course I have. I watch your channel all the time.
He said Hoff. I thought you meant like David Hasselhoff. I don't know.
David Hasselhoff. That's wishful thinking, Carrie. It really is.
I mean Hoff, right? From the,
Off. Yeah, off. Yeah, off.
Star Wars things I'm not thinking.
There we go. What about you, Mark? What are you grabbing? Yeah. Nice. White bricks. Everyone likes doing their white. What about you, Sam? You bought quite a few bits and pieces, haven't you? My life. How much was that bag?
I think it's 2 cups, which is 70 to 14.
That's not bad though, is it? You got
It's not bad, no.
got a good mixture, and you never get those these kind of like boat pieces.
I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but just like to cook things.
Okay, I like it. It's good. Gets the imagination going. So I've been here for a good couple of hours now, and I've kind of seen all the mocks and everything that I do want to see. Albeit, I still want to go and check out some mosaics and the big ball contraption. I've seen what actually I want to buy as well. So I'm going to go and grab those bits as quick as I can, and then get home and show you lovely lot exactly what I got and what I thought for the Reading Brick Show. Okay, so now I'm back from the Reading show then. I kind of want to share with you a couple of things. Firstly, what I thought and felt about the actual show. And secondly, what I actually bought as well. So anyway, going back to what I thought about the show. I mean, in a nutshell, folks, I really enjoyed it. And I'm definitely going to be going back next year as well. But why did I like it so much? Well, really, I wanted to get 2 things from this show that I didn't feel as though I got from the festival. That being the great big ball contraption, which was there today, which was really cool, really exciting. And actually, it was probably the best layout that I've ever seen of it, actually, especially the fact, the high rise section to the configuration. I really liked it. I found it quite mesmerising to watch. And that's kind of why I'm kind of, I don't know, fascinated by it. I really am. And that kind of thing, that's kind of in a league of its own. It kind of stands by its own thing. But the other part that I wanted, the other element I wanted to get from this particular show over the festival, for me anyway, was the fact that I wanted more mocks. And the show absolutely delivered. I loved it. I really did. I'd never seen so many mocks in my life. It was brilliant. And the great thing about it was that they all came in all different shapes and sizes. For example, think of it on a large scale, for example, you got the medieval village. And then on a much smaller scale, you got those Rancors, those brick-built Rancors by Sean, which I thought were absolutely amazing. I really did. Now, between you and me, I actually thought that those Rancors, brick-built, were better than the actual moulded versions. But anyway, let me know what you think about that down in the comments. And then, of course, you had those other kind of mocks that kind of sat quite nicely in the middle, like, for example, the space station, the revolving space station, which again was amazing to see. I couldn't even believe it was made out of Lego. From a distance, it looked like some giant kind of Hasbro model or something like that. I really enjoyed seeing that. So anyway, that aside, one of the other things as well that I wanted to see was more trains. I've been to a couple of the festivals and I've kind of seen videos of people doing trains and stuff like that. And because I kind of feel that Lego don't kind of give us enough
Lego train sets. I kind of wanted to see more there, and I was really, really lucky because the LNUR team were there, which was really good timing for me because I kind of listened to their podcasts in the past, and they're really, really cool, and they always seem so enthusiastic about their trains. But the thing is, of course, these are mostly MOCs, not actual real proper sets that you can purchase, or official Lego sets anyway. But the MOCs, oh my god, they are absolutely brilliant. I mean, there's all different ones there, of course. You've got the classic kind of steam trains, you've got diesels, and of course you've got electrics. And they're this marvellous, absolutely marvellous rail track set out, which was a very quintessentially British kind of backdrop to it all, and that just made it look so good, and it was really exciting to see. And I tell you what, I really, for Lagondon, I'm kind of holding back a little bit, but you know what, for Lagondon, I just wanted to have a really good rail kind of network on there as well. And it's probably, maybe it's going to be a bit basic, I don't know, we'll have to see going forward. But of course, one of the other draws of going to the Reading show was Robot Wars. Now, I never actually watched Robot Wars, but I've kind of watched bits and pieces of it from the side crowds and peripheral to everything going on. But what I will say is that is a big draw for me. It was certainly a big draw for the crowds up there. I've never seen crowds get so excited about Lego before. Honestly, it was amazing to watch. It really was. And the guys that kind of facilitated that kind of made it really exciting with the pumping bass music and really cool commentary as well. It was just really exciting. So that's a really big draw for me to go back to the actual show next year. So that's kind of exciting as well. Kind of, even though I didn't have enough time to kind of see everything, that for me is a big element of it, and that's something that I'm definitely going to want to see next year as well. Then of course, what I liked about the show itself as well was actually the layout of it. So you kind of had those sort of resellers around the side, which I thought was a really good idea. And then you had all the creativity in the middle with all the MOCs and stuff like that. And then to one side you had the Robot Wars and the mosaics, and of course the big ball contraption. And anyway, talking of resellers, there was quite a diverse amount of resellers there as well. You had like people that were selling predominantly kind of city and hidden side, and then you had like superheroes and Star Wars, and then you had other ones on the other side that were kind of selling quite a lot more loose Lego and framed pictures of particular Lego minifigures and stuff like that. And I thought that was quite a good combination of it. So all round, I kind of felt the Reading Festival, or the Reading Brick Show as it is, was actually quite a nicely well-balanced Lego show, and one that I'm definitely going to be going back to next year. But anyway, talking to the resellers, what did I get? So the first thing I got when I got to the Reading Festival was this. It's a mug, but it's not just any old mug, is it? It's a classic space kind of logo mug, if you like. And I thought that looked pretty good actually. If I'm doing a stream up here, or if I'm doing a stream down in the cabin, and I fancy a cup of tea or a coffee, I thought this would actually look the part to it. I think that looks quite cool. It's a really cool finish. It's nicely done. I don't think it's official Lego merch, but like I said, it looks the part. So that was the first thing I got. And again, it wasn't anything I'd actually particularly thought I'd ever get. But that's what I like about these kind of shows or these festivals. You kind of walk in with a very open mind, not really knowing what I ever want to get. That said, I was talking to Tech, and he said to me, if there was one particular set you could get, and it was here, would you get it? And I was like, well, I don't really know if there are any particular sets. But then of course I remembered there was one that I wanted to get, and you know what, I actually came across it as well. But hold that thought, because I'll come back to that in just a tick. Now anyway, I'm kind of building Lagondon, my Lego city, albeit slowly. And what do Lego cities need? They need construction workers. So I got these three minifigures, and I think they look really, really good. That was £10 this particular set, and I think that's fairly reasonable for 3 minifigures. This one here being my particular fave. Look at his facial expression. It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? So anyway, they're quite good fun, and that was £10 spent. Now, as a lot of you know, I'm really, really into my brickheads. I say really, really. I kind of just buy the ones that I particularly like, but Lego have been knocking them out the park recently, and they've been coming up with some really good sets. I'm also actually quite a big fan of Back to the Future. So, with that in mind, it's probably no surprise to you, but I bought this one. And this was a set that I actually did have at one time, and I think I just kind of sold it on because I was kind of falling out of love with brickheads. But this year, this 2022 wave that seems to be coming out, I think there's a bit of a renaissance with brickheads. So I kind of thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to get this. I don't think it only comes with like 240 parts. Now, of course, this is retired. Now, when Lego sets are retired, that generally means they go up in price quite a lot. And this did. I think when this came out, this would have been something like £18 or something like that, and I bought it for pretty much double that. But it is a set that I do like. And in all honesty, tomorrow being Sunday, I'm actually going to go and see Back to the Future musical. So I kind of got hook, lined and sinker into actually purchasing that Brickheads. So going back to what I was saying about if I saw a set, would I necessarily buy it? The one that I kind of really wanted? Well, I did, in a nutshell. So let me give you a little bit of context behind it as well. A couple of weeks ago, well, probably about 3 weeks ago in fact, I actually tried to buy the Red Hulk, and I purchased it from a Bricklink guy over in France, which is weird to say, to think I was actually only in Paris last week. And by the way, folks, if you want to see that vlog, check the card above. Terrible segue, but there you go. Anyway, so I actually got it from France, and it arrived and it looked perfect. The only problem was there was a crack just going down the centre of his face, a very kind of fine crack, but one that they'd missed. Anyway, so one thing led to another. I had to post it back, and I got my money back, and it was completely fine and everything like that. It was a really good reseller, but the only problem was I didn't have myself a Red Hulk. Of course, I've gone to Reading today, and not only did I see a Red Hulk, I saw the set that he came in, and this is it. So it's set number 76078, and it's simply called Hulk. All right, yeah, it is just Hulk versus Red Hulk, which is a bit weird really, because you've got the green one. So you've got the kind of the classic Incredible Hulk here, which I'm not actually too sure that I've actually got this particular one. The one that I definitely haven't got is the Red Hulk. Now, this particular set was quite expensive, and I actually bought this from the same reseller, and because of that, he did me a deal. He knocked £10 off it. So this particular set was actually £120. And you might be thinking, blimey, Greg, that's a lot of money for this particular set. But this figure alone, right, goes for around £70 on Bricklink. So that kind of makes it much more worthwhile. Also as well, this particular figure here, She-Hulk, who I bought recently as well, she goes for like £30, and I got quite a good deal on that. So now I've got myself 2 red She-Hulks, and then of course you've got the green, the kind of standard, I don't know, would you call it a standard Hulk if it's green? I don't know, but anyway, that's the one there. And there's actually going to be a new Marvel TV series coming out later on this year, featuring the She-Hulk, and I think the Incredible Hulk as well. So you never know, it might even go up more in value. But that isn't the point. I got it because I wanted to get the particular minifigures with it as well. I mean, look at these cars that come with it. They're absolutely bonkers, aren't they? They really are. I mean, why would an Incredible Hulk, or even just as Hulk, have a car anyway? But then, I suppose, if you was a Hulk, and you didn't fancy kind of bouncing around, these would be the cars to have. And with all that in mind, it was actually really nice to catch up with people that I know from the Lego community and meet some for the first time as well, like Bricky TY, Minark, Mitty Bricks, and also Solo Brick Builder. And I really enjoyed doing that. You know what? If you enjoyed this video, then please do give it a thumbs up. You can follow the channel on Instagram, Twitter, and even TikTok. And you know what? If you happen to be new around here, then why not hop on and subscribe and become a big part of the LBE family. I'll leave you now with some videos that I think you might like.